I spilled a bunch of water outside the men's bathroom, or the bathroom on the right. Not the men's bathroom, the bathroom on the right. So just be careful around the drinking fountains. No, it was me. It's better to know that it's water, honestly. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thanks for your patience as we get settled in here. It's good to see y'all. I'm glad to be together. We're going to start with Psalm 150, the Hallelujah, which is on page 38. And also, I think it's maybe in the back of the book, Kol HaNeshama, but we're going to start there. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama te hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama te hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama te hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama te hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama, every soul. The word neshama and the word nefesh, which means breath, are like, and also being, are like inextricably linked. They're, they come from the same root word. The idea that breath is life, and we are beings who breathe. Every breath, every being praises God. So good. We're going to light candles. I'm grateful that all of you are here regularly enough to light candles. Enough. Jan, I think it might be your turn. I'm also happy to do it. We are on page number 9. 9. Correct. Amen. Good Shabbos, everybody. We're going to continue with Higale, which is on page 7. Higale, gale, gale, na. So If you were looking for your weekly raccoon update, we trapped another one. Hopefully they won't come visit us for services, but you never know. I was just thinking about, every week it's a new adventure around here. So I'm glad to welcome Shabbat, so hopefully some peace. We are going to continue with Lecha Dodi, which is on 14. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el hamiochad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet et v'litchila. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likra Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi ori. Uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzohola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, which is on page 17. Yitkadal v'kadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divarach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechonu v'yomechon u'chayedecho beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam alal me'omaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha barechu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, ve'imeru, amen. Please rise. La 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 Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. New microphone, so exciting. Yeah, okay. We're going to continue at the top of page 20. Somewhere at the fringes of night, the shadows of darkness soften, and earth comes alive with hints of light. My heart fills with fresh, bright hope, and the world stirs to give birth to color. Colors are secrets not seen in the dark, like the promise of God when darkness is visible. Creator, you who bring dawn from the darkness, break the used goblets of my yesterdays. Let me find wisdom in the shards and grow in knowledge of your eternal presence. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Almighty One, who makes the evenings fall. Amen. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachpeinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach v'divrei toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed em chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla ahavadcha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael. Yep, that's okay. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'otecha. Ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uvelechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafo b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzo beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetzi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. We're going to continue with Micha Mocha, which is on page 25. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Micha mocha va'elim Adonai Micha mocha ne'edor b'kodesh Norate hilot osefele Norate hilot osefele Malachutecha ra'uvanecha Okayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam Za'elianu ve'amru Za'elianu ve'amiru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. We're going to continue with Hashivenu. A wise person, one of my mentors, recently said to me, Alicia, when you sing this, or when you say these words, who are you talking to? What are you doing in this room? And I invite you to perhaps think about the same thing as we continue praying this evening. Ashkeveinu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom La'amideinu Shomreinu Chaim. Ashkeveinu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom La'amideinu Shomreinu leChaim. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. So rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. So So rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, B'hamidenu Shomrei, Nu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, B'hamidenu Shomrei, Nu lechaim. We're going to continue on page 51. Please rise. It's a little crackly, right? The new mic's a little crackly, but
it's a little bit overdriven. We got to figure that out.
yeah. I'll put it way down here.
Maybe a level on it.
Yeah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avod v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mehayei hakol atah Rav leHoshia. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mehayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim berofech holim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech meimit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh, shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please feel free to be seated. We're going to continue with Vishamru on page 55. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Ki sheshet yomim Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. We're now going to take a few moments for silent prayer and meditation. There are many words on the page that you could choose, or just the words of your heart to share with the Holy One this evening. And we'll join back together in a moment. My friends, this week, the Torah portion is Tetzaveh. A lot of exciting things are still happening in the Torah. I mean, as always, you can find some good stuff in there every week. But the thing that I really wanted to focus on this week was this is the week of the Ner Tamid, of the eternal light. God instructs the people, they're building this tabernacle. They're doing what God says. They're building the Mishkan, and God has them put up this eternal light. The word Ner is light, and Tamid is always, which is why we have this one, which is always on, even when we aren't in the building. And there's one actually out in the vestibule as well, which I believe was used when Shir Tikvah was first moving around from place to place, or was in churches and whatever, and it hung above the ark situation in each of those places. And I've been thinking about this word a lot. Like the Ner Tamid, as you all know, winter is not, it's not my favorite time of year. And thank God, Patty, every time I talk to Patty on the phone, she always reminds me that the days are getting longer, which is I talk to her 4 times a week, so it's very helpful. But she says that February is the fastest, is the month where we get light the fastest, which I think is actually true, because at about 5:45, I could still see the street outside, so I feel like we're doing great, headed in the right direction for sure. But thinking more about that light, the idea. People, we talked about this a little bit last week, the idea of sacred space, that we build these spaces for us. God is having the people build this Mishkan, this tabernacle, for God to dwell in, but it's more of a physical representation of something that is so hard for us to wrap our brains around, that we need the physical presence sometimes, because as human beings, especially because we don't have that sort of God in Judaism doesn't take a human form in the same way. So we don't have that sort of, like you might see it in Christianity or in other places. So we have this sort of amorphous idea of what God looks like. And even the word God is complicated because it's a German word. But we have, as my 7th graders hopefully would tell you, hopefully they remember this, that there are 72 names for God, and we only know some of them, and we use them sort of interchangeably, but they're, different ways, different aspects of God's being. And all that to say is that language is this finite thing that we have to describe this infinite possibility of God, the infinite nature of God. And so when I think about the Ner Tamid, it's like another reminder, perhaps, that we need those physical things sometimes in our lives because we easily forget. The fact that there is light, God, brought light into the world, and also God is light. And this is a reminder of that, this physical reminder of that eternal nature, right? It's two things. It's light and it's eternity. So as I've been thinking about this, another India Ari song has come to mind, which 2 in 2 weeks, I love her so much. But she has this song, and I actually call it my prayer song. It's called I Am Light, and it's this beautiful song that I put on when I can't find any words, or when I'm feeling stuck, or when I know I need to pray, but I don't feel like it. I don't know if any of you get that. Sometimes I feel that resistance of I know I need to connect with God, but I don't really want to. Sometimes I'm dragging my heels like a toddler. But it's this song about how each of us are divine and holy. I am light, I am light. It's a beautiful song. And that is, what an incredible thing to have a piece of who we are represented on the Mishkan, right? It's this piece of we are beings, and we can spread that kind of light, and God is light, and it feels a little bit like as I'm thinking about, we are pieces of this puzzle. But the other piece of light that's important, of the Ner Tamid that's important, is the Tamid part. Tamid was I don't know why it was, but it was one of those Hebrew words that I learned early in my life that sort of just stuck with me. And the idea that it is always there, even when we can't see it, even when we forget, right? That light is within, that light of the divine, and it is, here's a physical reminder in case you forget. Surprise to no one, the lights in here are also flickering. A physical reminder. No, I'm thinking about how funny that is. It's that physical reminder of the fact that we are beings of light. And therefore, it is our job. There's a lot of ways in which we can look at that, right? Do we hold on to it? Do we spread it? I'm thinking about the phrase or lagoyim, which I don't love the word goyim necessarily as a way to talk about non-Jewish people, but or lagoyim is a phrase which means a light unto the nations, right? That's our responsibility as Jews, right? So there's these layers of light that we are connected to at all times, right? The light of God, that Ner Tamid, the idea of alwaysness, and the light within, and then what we're supposed to do with that light is to shine it out and be this representation to the world. It feels like a lot of pressure, I guess, but perhaps not, because it's just light from God, and it's just God. It's just another facet of God's being. So as the days get lighter, thank God, I just encourage you to hold on to that idea that the tamid, the alwaysness, the eternality of that physical representation of God is with us always. And especially when Jan changes the light bulbs, which I'm grateful for because I can't reach them. But what an incredible thing and the fact that we have then carried this idea from the Torah into our sanctuaries. In every sanctuary, you will find a Ner Tamid. We are light. I'm grateful for that reminder, and I hope you'll carry it with you this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm going to fix this light. Hold on. The dimmers aren't all the way up, they'll flicker. Or God is talking to me, I don't know. Could be both. Could be both. As we're thinking about beings of light, my friends, we are also spreading and sending love and light to all of those people in our community and around the world who are in need of healing at this time. Here at Shir Tikvah, we are thinking of Lex Baum-Breslov, Joan Firestone, Rita and Ted Golden, Donna Prentice Bonner, Rebecca Harris, Craig Cook, Cindy Silverman, Steve and Sharon Burns, Mike Ingber, Barbara Saul, and Suzanne Kovacs, and Doreen Billett. If there's somebody else you are thinking of this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community as a prayer for healing, I'll invite you to do so. Thank you.
And the seagull Justin G.
Matthew Johnson.
Thank you.
Morning, my brother.
Phyllis said in our houses.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I'm on page 71. 71. When we pray, our sense of awareness shifts from hub to spoke, from self-consciousness to self-surrender. God is the center toward which all forces tend. God is the source, and we are the flowing of the God source, the ebb and flow of God's tides. Well, Bruce, I hate to do it to you again, but it's your time. Some announcements.
Good Shabbos.
Good job, Miss Bruce.
A congregation-wide financial update will take place on Zoom this Sunday, February 13 at 3 o'clock p.m. This is a big picture information session. Check your e-blast for the link. Reminder, due to a scheduling conflict, the February Lunch and Learn meets this Tuesday, February 15th at noon on Zoom. The membership committee has 2 fantastic events planned on Zoom in February. Bake an apple pie from scratch with Marla Scaife on Sunday, February 20, and learn to crochet with Lauren Stein on Tuesday, February 22. 2 great options for adults and kids alike, and fun midwinter break activities too. See the e-blast for details. We are 1 month away from Rabbi Elisha's installation celebration weekend. Mark your calendars and join us for a very special service on Friday, March 11. Join our CST Walking and Talking group, meeting on Sundays at 12:30 in the parking lot. Contact Faye Blatt with interest. Have you been joining us either in person or virtually for Shabbat services and are interested in membership? Please contact our Executive Director, Lorelei Berg, at info@shirtikvah.org with questions and to learn more. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We are going to continue with Aleinu, which is on page 74, and I invite you to rise. Let's see. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Oh, I forgot to open the ark. I can't do it all. I'm on page 77. After a while, we learn the subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. And we learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and company doesn't always mean security. And we learn that kisses aren't contracts, and presents aren't promises. And we begin to accept our defeats with our heads up and our eyes straight forward. And we learn to build all our roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while, we learn that even sunshine burns if we ask too much. So we plant our own gardens and decorate our own souls instead of waiting for someone to bring us flowers. And we learn that we really can endure, that we really are strong, that we really have worth. And we learn, and we learn. With every goodbye, we learn. This week, our hearts go out to Ted, Ashley, Hudson, and Landon Jennings on the passing of Ted's mother and Ashley's mother-in-law, and Hudson and Landon's grandma, Dawn Jennings. We are also in a period of shloshim for Norm Thorpe, father of Sarah Chisholm and Carrie Keogh, and our beloved congregant. We are in a period of shloshim as well for Martin Bernstein, husband of Martha Bernstein, father of Michael Bernstein, and our beloved congregant. And Royalyn Vert, mother of David Zachman. This week, we also recall the yard sites, the anniversary of the passing of Francella Simpson, mother of David Simpson, Lucille Stein, mother of Carol Blumenstein and Sherry Epstein, Nancy Ellen Golden, wife of Ted Golden, Esther Liebson, mother of Michael Liebson, and Theodore Tulipman, husband of Kay Tulipman and beloved CST member. If there's anybody else whose yard site you are observing this evening whose name you'd like to share with us, I invite you to do so. We rise and we join together for the Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page 78. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarach yiruteh v'amlich malchuteh, be'chayechon v'hayachon u'v'chayed achol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'pa'ar v'tramam v'yitnaseh. Yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal. Shemei dekudesha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Ta'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, to which we say, Amen. We are going to, let's do an Oseh shalom. Is that okay right now? We'll do the regular one, and then we'll do the fast one at the end. Does that sound okay?
Oh, the regular one?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, Keith. Oseh shalom b'imroma, oseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We're going to conclude with Kiddush and Motzi. If you would like to join me, if you want to follow along in the prayer book, it's towards the back. I believe it's on, yes it is, 87. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinachaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Here we go with the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. I'll pass these around for you. You can eat and sing. Let's do it. Here we go. Shalom bimromav, Huria aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. I want to thank you, Keith, for the beautiful music as always. Thank you, Jan, for setting up and for the tech help. And thank you to Patty for the Zoom stuff and for bringing delicious noms. My prayer for all of us is that it is a Shabbat of light, a Shabbat of peace, and one of joy. Shabbat shalom. Shalom bimromav, Huria aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody.